Hello, hello. All right. Welcome to day one of the ReVibe experience. So as everyone pops on, I am going to just actually share this into the Facebook group. So I'm going to handle some tech things and then we will get going. So let me see here. I believe my comments are on. There we go. So as you pop on, you can say hello, tell me who you are, where you're from. And once I get this tech stuff out of the way, we're going to dive right in. And I'm really excited about this. I actually am doing this with you. I like to always do the challenges and do the different things with my clients. So I have the experience as well. So I know exactly what you're going through. I'm here for support. I'm here for questions and all of that good stuff. So let me see if I can share. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, for some reason I can't share. All right, well, we're just going to be on Zoom then. So as you pop on, say hello, so I know that you're here. I'm just trying to see. I feel like I should still be able to go live. And we are recording. Fantastic. All right, so it looks like because we're in a webinar, I can't share it, but that's totally fine. We have the replay here that will be reposted. So hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the ReVibe Challenge. So what I'm going to do for our live sessions is, number one, they're going to be short and sweet. I know you're busy. I know you have a lot of things going on. I really want you to take this in and make space for it and make time for it. So I respect your time, I respect my time. So I will try to keep these short and sweet, but so about 30 minutes every day. If you can, for the next 3 days, 30 minutes from 12 to 12:30, I'll try to keep it within that time frame. Obviously, if there's a lot of questions or things going on, then it might go a little bit longer. But why I wanted to do this challenge, I'll start with that. And this is actually the second time. This is the first time we ran this challenge was back actually almost 3 years ago. Almost exactly 3 years ago in 2020. So right around when the pandemic hit. So lots of stuff was happening with people. Lots of stuff was happening in people's businesses. Some people's businesses skyrocketed. Other people's businesses tanked, right? People had to pivot, do all kinds of things. And I feel like people are still kind of in that transition phase. There's a lot of things that have happened online, in the online space, in the coaching world. And, you know, those of you who have been in business for a really long time, it gets to a point where it's like, I need something different. I need something new. I need to infuse some new life into my business. So that is what we're going to do over the next 3 days. I'm super excited. So the way that it works is every day in the morning, you're going to get probably a pretty long email from me, but basically that is your prompt for day one. So you should have gotten your email for today already. If you didn't, definitely let me know. You can hit reply on any of the emails that I've sent, and we'll make sure that you get that. And so you'll get that. And then at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to meet here to just kind of jam on what each day is about, answer questions, give you support, give you feedback. But the idea here is that I'm your guide. So I'm not essentially going to like tell you what to do. I'm giving you guidance on what you can do in order to really refresh and bring life back into your business, into your life. Even if you feel like you're doing really well in your business, this is still going to be super helpful because I feel like we're always needing to and wanting to grow and evolve and do different things and shake things up. So this is also going to be helpful no matter where you are in your business, no matter what type of business you have. This is not specific to any type of business. So I'm going to guide you, but you have to do the work. So that's the whole thing with coaching, right? It's like, we get to be your guide, we get to be your support, but you actually have to commit to doing the work. So you have to choose that, and you have to choose to also go deep. A lot of these exercises that I'm going to be giving you are, some of them are going to be like a gut punch. Some of them are going to be like, oh, I really don't want to face this. I want you to face it, right? Because this is what's going to actually facilitate that change, facilitate like that deep transformation that I want to give you over the next 3 days. So what I would love for you guys to do, those of you that are here, if you can type in the comments, what is your intention? So it can be just one line, whether it's like, you know, you want to come up with new ideas for your business, you want to show up differently online, you want to, you know, whatever it is. I would love to hear what your intention is for the next 3 days. So let me see. Is the chat disabled? Let me see. Chat should be. Oh, okay. All right. You guys should be able to chat now. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. All right. You should be able to chat now. Panelists can chat with everybody. Okay. Perfect. Sorry about that. I was wondering why you guys weren't putting anything in the chat. Okay, it's enabled now. Perfect. All right. So Misa says clarity and consistency. Thank you, Erin, my tech guru. If anybody needs tech help in their business, Erin is the woman for that. Hey, Emma, how are you? All right, guys. So what is your intention for the next 3 days? And then I'm going to go into the activities for today. And the funny thing is, like, I haven't done one of these live challenges or live experiences in quite a while. I would say probably about a year. And as I was preparing the contents for this and really just like going deep, I just remember what it was like when I was doing challenges long ago. And the way that challenges have evolved, I actually don't like. I think a lot of the times challenges are like, it's just someone, you know, doing a live stream for an hour a day, every day for a week. And to me, like, that's not really a challenge. Like, that's just education, right? Like, you're just giving me information. So what I like to do with my challenges and with my experiences is to actually give you something to do, actually have you go deep, right? Because it's one thing for us to know something. It's one thing for us to hear ideas. It's one thing for us to, like, you know, want to make a change. But if we don't actually do the work to make that happen, then it's not going to happen, right? So I'm just going to read some of these. Thank you guys for the chat. I did not realize that the chat was turned off, so I'll make sure that that is fine for tomorrow. Erin says she's opening to new ideas of how to share her expertise. Awesome. Elvia says, I want to be magnetic or charismatic when I show up. Maybe I am not in alignment. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Emma says, start new over for myself, clarity and consistency as well. Sophia, oh, I haven't heard from you in so long. My intention is to revive my business. I left it hanging for a long while. I am ready to get back on it and feel connected to the community again. Misa says, this is my first experience with you. Well, I hope you love it. Tatiana says, align with my money goals, show up differently and start seeing results. Awesome. So I love this. This is perfect. You are absolutely in the right place if this is what you want to experience. So for today's lesson, there's actually 3 parts of the lesson. So essentially what we're going to do is, it's going, like, there's a reason why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and always trust that there's a process to our transformation. There's a process to change. There's a process to shifting our beliefs, to shifting how we show up, right? I mean, if it was as easy as us just saying, hey, I want clarity, or I want to show up differently, or I want to align differently, then we would just do it, right? But it's not that easy, and it doesn't happen that way because there's other stuff that needs to be cleared up. There's other stuff that we need to actually look at, right? And a lot of times we will just like bury our heads in the sand, especially if it's something that we don't really want, or if it's something that we're maybe have a little bit of shame around or guilt. Then we'll kind of try to, like, you know, not really poke the bear, so to speak. But I want you guys to go there. The activities that I'm giving you are for you. Like, just know they're for you. You don't have to share them. You can share your experiences and what your breakthroughs and things like that if you want, but you don't have to share this. So when you're doing these activities by yourself, I want you to really go there. I want you to really go deep. I want you to be really honest with yourself, because the more honest you are with yourself about what's going on and what you actually want, the easier the path is going to be to get there. So the first thing that I want you guys to do, and like I said, you guys already have this in an email. If you don't have it, definitely let me know. But the first thing is you want to Okay, Emma. Emma, if you could just send a reply to any of the emails that you got about the experience, I'll make sure that I get you today's prompt. Okay. But I'm going to go over them right now. So the first thing is to assess and align. Okay. So what I mean here is I want you to evaluate like literally every part of your business. Now, obviously, and your life. So this is obviously business related. I'm a business coach. I help people with their business. I work with entrepreneurs, but our life and what's going on in our relationships and what's going on in our lifestyle and what's going on in our homes and what's going on in our energy also has a big effect on our business. So what I want to do, the first thing that I want you to do is to assess every area. And you guys don't have to do it right now. I just want to go over the process and you can go off and after our call, do it on your own. So assess and align. So for me, there's like 6 major areas of your life and business. So there's business, money, your impact, your body and your health, your relationships, and your social life / lifestyle. So within all of these, we have to have full alignment, right? If we're not aligned with any of these, or there's some kind of, discord within these things, or there's some kind of like doubt or, lack of clarity within these things, it makes everything else harder. So first thing that I want you guys to do is in those 6 areas of your life, I want you to see how aligned you feel in those areas. This kind of reminds me of an exercise that I did from a Tony Robbins book back in like 1999 or 1998. But this is my take on it. And so essentially what you want to do is list out all of those areas: business, money, lifestyle. You can even do spirituality. You can add your own sections here if you want to, and rate on a scale of 1 to 10, how in alignment do you feel with those things, right? So if your business is like, it's doing okay, it's not the best, but it's not the worst, like maybe you'll give yourself like a 5 or 6 in your business. Maybe, with your health and your fitness and your eating habits, like you are on point, you're at the gym every day, you're doing yoga every day, you might be at a 9 or 10, right? So with all of these areas, I want you to think about from 1 to 10, how in alignment am I with this? And the other thing that I did, like I said, I am doing this with you guys, is I kind of gave the reason. So if I didn't have a 10, the reason was like, well, things are kind of okay, but I know that they can be better. Or, I just kind of went a little bit deeper with the rating on why I gave it that rating. And the second part of that is that we're going to want to think about what would make it a 10. Right? Obviously, we're humans. We're not always going to be a 10 on everything across the board. But if we are acting in trying to be in alignment with those things, then we're moving towards that. So first is out of those 6 areas of your life and business, whether you want to add some more or not, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your alignment with that thing? And what would get you to a 10 or close to a 10? I would say like a 9 or a 10. Misa says, I'm listening while working, so I'll do the prompt. Yes, absolutely. All right, so that is the first step, because what we want to do is we're just assessing the situation, right? Like we're like, okay, what's actually going on here? What does feel out of alignment? Because we could maybe think that it's our business, right? But maybe it's not the business itself, but it's that we have maybe turmoil or toxicity in like a relationship or with our parents or something, and that's bleeding into our business, right? Or maybe we're just not feeling healthy, we're not taking care of our body, and that stops us from showing up in our business. So I think it's really important to take account of all of the things and really look at it as a clear picture of like, here's what's actually going on. And like I said, be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. Nobody has to see this. This is just for you. All right, so the second piece is my favorite thing, and anybody who's ever been with me for any amount of time, has been through any of my experiences, got any of my emails, that my number one favorite thing in the whole wide world to do is journal. So the second part of this is, now that you know and you've assessed and you're kind of looking at the reality of like, oh, here's the areas that I need to improve. Here's the areas that, maybe I can work on those later, or these areas are really good. We want to journal and vision. What do we actually want it to look like? So now that we know what it actually looks like, what's the current reality, let's have that vision for the future. It could be near future. It could be within the next month. It could be within the next 3 months. It could be in 3 years from now. Whatever you feel aligned as you start to journal, just trust that, trust yourself always, and create that picture for yourself, that vision of what you want. So let's say you are, slacking in the health department, as I am. And so this is a great example, so my vision would be that, every morning I get up, I'm refreshed, I feel like I got enough sleep, and I could do yoga on the beach, which I'm going to be able to do now because I'm moving to Florida next month. I'm really excited about that. So like, what would you do, right? What is the vision for this? Now, you want to be a little bit careful here because when you're journaling, you want to stay away from I want. Like, I want to do yoga on the beach. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to have more clients. You want to stay away from anything that's going to put you in lack. And when you say you want something or you say you need something, you're essentially saying, I don't have it, right? Because if you had it, you wouldn't want it, right? And I know this is might be a little bit confusing, but really think about it, right? If I want something and it's over there, it means I don't have it. So I'm already operating in lack. So when you are journaling, journal as if it's already done or it's in the past. So I would say, I wake up every morning and do yoga on the beach, instead of saying, I want to wake up every morning, or I want to wake up every morning and exercise, right? Or I would say, my client roster is full of the most ideal clients and I'm booked out until July. So I wouldn't say, I want to be booked out. I want to have a lot more clients. I would write it as if it's already done. So just catch yourself there when you're spending time on this. And I would say give yourself about 10, 15 minutes. Okay, give yourself that gift. That's something that I always say when it comes to journaling. I don't want it to feel like a chore. I don't want it to feel like it's something you have to do, but it's something that's so powerful and so effective for manifestation and for really bringing to light the things that you want. As an alternative, if you don't want to journal, you don't like journaling, you could also just hit record on your phone and record yourself and just talk about what you want. But again, talking about it in the present tense. Has anybody done journaling with me before? Has anybody here taken my Extreme Manifesting Experience, which is my 30-day course? Any of my journaling stuff? If not, in today's prompt, I also have a short podcast episode that I did where I explained the entire process and how to really keep it in the present and how to really keep it to where you're actually going forward with that and you're going to be able to manifest that thing. So first, we're assessing, we're looking at the reality. Okay, here's what's actually happening, right? Here's the reality of the situation. Here's what needs work. Second step is vision. Second step is, what do I want it to look like? What does the future look like? But stating it in the present tense. Misa says, I am making audios of my I am statements and listen to them. Perfect. Beautiful. I love it. And that's, I get a lot of pushback sometimes from people on journaling. Oh, I really don't like journaling, or I don't have time to journal, or, they feel like it's a chore. Find another way around it. So if it's making audios, if it's just making statements, if it's listening to things, but I really want you to sit and visualize at the very least what it is that you want. All right. So everybody good on our steps for today so far? We're going to assess, then we're going to journal. So we've already gotten, here's the reality, here's the now. Now we're looking at the future. So how are we going to get there? That's going to be the next step. That's what we're going to be covering. But today's last step is to decide. It's to make a decision. And you don't have to make a decision on all the things. Here's the thing, guys. You may have multiple areas of your life or business that you want to change, or that you want to shift, or that you want differently. I would say just focus on one or two for now. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Focus on what feels good, because you can always come back and do this later. Okay. So if I know business is really heavy on my mind, or, relationships, or, money and getting my money shit right, I may be focusing on that for this challenge. So after you've done your journaling, I want you to decide. And I would say decide and declare. because we have to make a statement, right? Because we can want a lot of things. We can want change. We can want clarity. We can want clients. We can want bigger business. We can want to show up differently. But we have to actually make the decision that we're going to do that. So for the third part of today's lesson is to decide and declare. And like I said, you can choose just one if you want to. You can choose a couple different things, but like, what am I actually deciding on? What am I actually going to make a non-negotiable from now on? And we're the only ones that can do that, right? It's maybe hard. It's going to be hard. I'll just put it that way. It's going to be hard because we're probably so much into a habit, right? So a lot of the things that we're doing are habitual. It's just like, that's just what we do. It's normal. It's like, it just is, right? And in order to shift that, we need to switch the whatever it is to the new thing, to the new normal, right? So even if we're talking about money here, let's say like my normal is $10,000 a month, right? Your normal is $10,000 a month. Let's say your normal is $5,000 a month. Let's go to 5. And you're barely scraping by. Like 5,000 is great. And you're grateful for the 5,000. But number one, you could be doing so much better. Number two, this is just barely covering the bills. It doesn't really allow you to expand or go on vacations or invest in your business the way that you want to. But it's safe. It's normal. It's like, it's what you've been doing for maybe a year or 2 years or however long, right? So it becomes like just normal. That's why you keep doing it. That's why you keep bringing in a very similar amount of money. I remember when I first started back in 2014, I was on this cycle of the same thing. It was somewhere between like $3,500 and $6,000 that I was bringing in every month. And I could not get past it. It was like, I wanted that infamous 10K, but I couldn't get past it. It was like 3,500, 4,500, 5,000, 6,000. Like I kind of stayed in that same range right there. Does anybody experience that in their income and their finances? And I had to think differently in order to get to that 10K. I had to act differently in order to get that 10K. And the moment that switched for me, I never went back to that range of the 3,500 to 6,000 because I completely switched what my new normal was going to be. And when I hit that first 10K month, it was actually like a 12K month. I decided that I would never have less than a 5-figure month. I remember clearly deciding that for myself. I think I even declared it to my coach, but I decided and I said I would never have less than a 10K month. And I never did. 7 years later, 8 years later. Right. And so sometimes we do need a little bit of evidence to push us over the edge, but ultimately it's our decision to make that change and to do what needs to be done in order for that to happen. So I'll give you guys an example because I am, like I said, doing this with you. One of the things for me is I'm so addicted, and not like in a bad way, but I'm addicted to Facebook for my business. And the reason why is because I started my business on Facebook. I grew my business on Facebook. I got a lot of business on Facebook. And even though Facebook isn't really jiving with me that much anymore, I'm not really in alignment with it. The reach isn't that great anymore. I still find myself going back to it. I still find myself like still wanting to post, still wanting to do all of these things, even though the results that I get from that are like nothing compared to the other marketing methods that I do with my email list and ads and things like that. So I made a decision that I'm only focusing on of my other marketing methods from now on. So yes, I'll still post on Facebook when I want, but I'm not going to use that as my primary way of getting clients anymore because it doesn't work. It works a little bit, but it doesn't work the way that ads work for me. It doesn't work the way that partnerships work for me. So because it's become a habit, I still do it, but it's a time waster. Really. So that's just like an example of like something small that you can make a decision on, but it will make a huge change. So tomorrow, what we're going to be doing is actually getting down and dirty with like really getting rid of the things that no longer serve us. So tomorrow, I think is going to be a little bit more difficult for you guys. I don't want to spoil it too much, but difficult, but also transformative. So definitely be ready for that. All right. So I would just love to know from those of you here, like what's your area of focus for this challenge. So is it going to be your business, money, clients? Is it your relationships, your body, your health? I would love to hear where everybody's at so I can kind of tailor the next 2 days to what you guys are most focused on. I'm assuming biz and money, but I would just love to hear from you guys. And then while I do that, perfect timing. We're at 12:25. I'm going to just do a recap. And then, like I said, you guys should already have the email. If you don't have the email, just reply to the what do you call it? The reminder email. And I'll make sure that I copy and paste today's prompts for you so you have them. Okay. Money and mindset, biz and money, biz and money, biz and money. I knew it. All right, guys, we are on it. We are on it. All right. So quick recap. Yes, you will get the replay. Quick recap is assess and align. That's step 1. So basically, we're going to go through every area of our life and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. How in alignment is this for me and what I desire, right? You probably want to focus also, like if you're doing this and you have some areas that are like at 8, 9, 10, like maybe you want to focus on the ones that are a little bit lower. Okay. Second step is our vision and journaling for the future. What do we want? What do we desire? What do we want it to look like? If we're at like a 2 or a 3 with money, do we want it to look like I have an overflow of cash in all of my bank accounts? Does it look like I'm debt free? Does it look like I have 20K a month in recurring revenue for my business? So really get detailed here. Don't be afraid to go deep and get detailed with your desires and what you actually want. So instead of saying like, I want more money, I want 20K in recurring revenue in my business. I want $50,000 overflow in my personal bank account. I want $100,000 in assets. Like, so whatever it is, be very specific about what it is. It can change. But for right now, like what is the thing that's coming to you and what's aligned? And then the third step is to decide and declare. So make a decision. I'm only going to ask you guys to just do one, at least one. If there's more, you can absolutely do more if you feel like you have the capacity to hold that and make a couple other decisions and step into that, you can. But for now, I don't want to overwhelm you. So just pick one. Do at least one thing where you're like, no more or yes. Okay, so just make a solid decision. If you have maybe something that you've been like in limbo that's been lingering and you're like, oh, I don't really know what to do, make that decision today. It will be so powerful for you. I find that when we are in limbo or we are in doubt or we're unsure of what to do, it makes everything else really hard, especially business, it fucks with our energy, right? Because it's like, we don't know what we're doing. I actually made the decision to move to Florida. That was like a crazy decision. And it was the first time, and I feel like it's so in alignment that I'm doing this challenge with you guys, because it really was the first time that I made a decision. First time in a long time, I'll say, since I had my son, because ever since I've had my son, I've made a lot of decisions based on my family, based on him and how he would feel and things like that. But this was a decision that I made for myself that felt just so in alignment. It felt such like a hell yes. And it was the first time that I didn't consult with anybody. So how many of us like consult with people? Like if we're going to make a decision, like we have to like check in with like our mom or our partner or maybe a friend, like to see if it's the right decision. I want you guys to really hone into what you desire, what's like in your gut, what you want, and make that decision. And that's exactly what happened to me with this move. I was kind of going back and forth, have to leave this apartment sooner than I thought. And I was like, oh, I could stick around here. I live in New Jersey. And it didn't excite me at all. I started looking for places around here and houses and apartments. And I was like, ugh, like this, no, this doesn't feel right. And I had been wanting to move to Florida, but I was going to wait until my son was in high school, which is about 2 more years. And the opportunity literally just fell into my lap. It was a huge and amazing and wonderful manifestation for me. And I got the opportunity and I said, hell yes. And so I'll be moving to Florida in May for the first time in my life, leaving my area where I grew up. So I made that decision and the universe conspired to serve it to me on a silver platter. So when we're that clear and when we really are making a decision for us, things are going to shape for you. Things are going to start to move. Things are going to start to shift. But we have to actually make that decision. If we're in limbo, if we're not sure, if we are burying our heads in the sands about certain things, it's not going to happen for us, right? We'll just continue to perpetuate the cycle that we're on and continue to do the things that we do and continue to the same habits and all of that. So guys, decide, declare, even if it's just one thing, I want you to do it. Emma says, is your son going with you? So he's going to finish out school. He finishes school on June 7th. And then when he's done, he's coming down and he's really excited about it. He's a little sad about being away from his dad, but it's a 2-hour plane ride. So I think he's going to be really happy there too. Okay. Biz and money. For me, business and money are the same. What would be difference between business and money? Okay, so for me, for business, you can go granular. So for business, you can say the types of clients that you're working with, maybe specific offers that you have going, maybe launches that you're doing, or specific marketing methods like the example that I gave. Money to me is like my savings, my investments, like how I handle my money, how much debt I have. So they are the same, but they're not. Right? Because obviously we can get money from our business, but we can also get money from other ways. And I think that we, sometimes forget that. I know I've gotten into that place where it's like, I think about money and it's like, I have to work to get that money. But money can come to us in other ways, right? We can get inheritances. We could win on a scratch off lottery ticket. Someone could, give us money that they owed us for years and years. Like there's so many other ways for money to come to you. So that's why I kind of separate the biz and money. So for me, like the business, you could super get granular. So say you may be out of alignment with your marketing method. You may be out of alignment with like your branding or how you're showing up, or, how you're working with clients, and you want to up level that. Maybe you want to up level and work with different types of clients, or you want to do something different in your business. Your launches. So maybe like your launches or a specific marketing method that you do, it's become a habit, kind of like I was saying with Facebook, but it's like, I don't really want to do this. Like I want to do something else, or I want to, try something different. So business, break it down like that. And then money is like what you actually do with your money, how much money you actually have, how much money you save, your debts, your expenses, your investments, things like that. All right. Emma says, my son travels to Toronto by plane to see his dad all the time. He loves it. Yeah, I think he'll love it and he'll get used to it. But all right, ladies. So I am going to keep my promise of keeping this to about half an hour. So now it's your turn. It's your turn to do the work, do those 3 things. I don't think it'll take you too much time. I would say maybe give yourself half an hour. You have that. You have half an hour to give to yourself today. And then tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to send out the prompt a little bit earlier tomorrow, because I think I sent it out around 9 today. So I might send it out a little bit earlier tomorrow, but either way, we're going to come here at 12 p.m. We're going to jam. We are going to actually go through the entire thing. And I would love for you guys to share any insights that you have from today. The replay is going to go out. Anybody that missed the prompt this morning, definitely let us know and we will make sure that you get it. And thank you for being here with me. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what kinds of shifts you can make for yourself in a short period of time, because absolutely it can happen. The transformation is real, but you have to be real with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and you have to commit to yourself. So guys, I will see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.